You mentioned earlier New Orleans and Macaulay Culkin, 2018, and making your debut in a WWE ring around that time. And I think I may have witnessed the debut or very, very kind of early matches of Flash Morgan Webster in the WWE ring, because I actually attended New Orleans for 2018 WrestleMania 34, I believe it was. A wonderful week, a fantastic week of pro wrestling and a great party atmosphere. But on the Friday night, I saw you come out to WrestleMania Axxess and have a fantastic match. It may well have been against Pete Dunne. I can't quite remember. But something seemed odd about your gear, Flash. Now, enlighten us as to what I might be alluding to, because there was an issue with the gear. And tell us exactly what you came out dressed in, if you don't.
So one of the major rules for any wrestler who is traveling internationally is never check your gear. We're all told you never check it. They lose that bag, you are screwed. So again, with this in mind, I had my carry-on, I had my gear in my carry-on, and I was about to board my flights to I think it was first stop Amsterdam, second then I do believe was Detroit, and then the third was New Orleans. So I get on my first flight and I'm about to board, and they say there's no room for any more carry-ons, and I'm like, I am not letting this out my sight. And they're like, it'll be fine. You can pick. It'll go to the other end. Absolutely fine. Don't worry about it. You'll be great. And I tried to fight tooth and nail, and they said there's no way, we have no more room. It can't come on. And they said it has to be checked. And I said okay. And I said to them, this is the biggest weekend of my life. You can't lose this, but we won't. And they did. So I got to. I remember getting to Amsterdam, and I remember we got into Amsterdam late, and I remember thinking there was maybe it was supposed to have been 3 hours between my flights, or 2 hours between my flights, and then it became, the time I ran there, it was like 45 minutes between flights, and I remember just thinking, there is no way the bags are following me. There's no way. And then I get to Detroit, and I have a big layover in Detroit, and I've got to pick my bags up there. When I get to Detroit, it's not there, and I'm just absolutely devastated. I remember seeing Chris Brooks in the airport, and he could tell as soon as he saw me that my face was like. I told him, and he was like, he was gutted for me. And then it became me going, right, okay, so I have 3 matches. Well, I have 2 matches this first day. One is me versus Pete Dunne versus Mark Andrews at Progress, and then I'm also on Axxess. And I was like, right, I don't have any gear. I don't have boots. I don't have knee pads. I don't have any sort of gear. And I was like, right, okay, I need to try to figure this out as fast as I can. And it's just me in Detroit Airport messaging, texting. And again, it ain't just about finding it. It's about finding people that are the same size as you and stuff that would fit. So Mark Andrews, my great friend, was already in New Orleans, and I told him, and he was able to go to the High Spots merch table and buy some knee pads for me, which was great because, to be honest, my old ones were a little bit scabby and I probably needed some new ones. So that got one of them done. And Mark Andrews is roughly the same size as me. So he was able to slide those knee pads on and was like, yep, they fit. Good stuff. There was no boots there, and boots are very expensive. Luckily for me, I've got a friend called Tyler Bate, same shoe size as me. Tyler Bate gave me his boots. Brilliant. Now the next part is the trousers. How are you gonna solve this problem? So I was like, there's not going to be any tights. I'm going to have to find something that I can wear. And I thought to myself, right, especially what works for me is I could probably get away with some jeans. Now, I'm not quite sure whose these are off the top of my head. There's 2 here, and I believe I was given 2 sets of jeans, but I can't remember which pair. And one of them might be able to correct me if I'm wrong, but it's one of these 2 people. Mark Andrews gave me a pair of jeans, and the other person who gave me a pair of jeans was a man called Orange Cassidy. So I'm not quite sure which one. I remember I have these 2 pair of jeans, but I can't remember which ones I put on for those 2 matches and wore. But I'm pretty sure that I made my WWE debut in a pair of Tyler Bates boots, a pair of knee pads that Mark Andrews bought for me just 24 hours before, and a pair of Orange Cassidy's jeans. So if it wasn't for my wrestling friends and for all the good people who were helping me that weekend, I wouldn't have had anything to wear for my WWE debut. And luckily, they found my bags just 24 hours later. And big shout out to to Thomas Juba, who drove me back and forth the airport 2 or 3 times that weekend to see and try finally find my bag. So big shout out to Tom Juba for that.
Incredible story. Thank you so much for telling that. Something didn't look right when I was watching you. I had to find out the real kind of insight into that. But